Welcome to the Eagles Checkdown, fastest 10 minutes or less Eagles podcast there is, covering news, notes, and opinions of your favorite team, the Philadelphia Eagles, right here on the Eagles Pinpool Podcast Network. I'm your host, Phil Stifle. You can find me on all social media platforms at Bearded Knowledge and hosting Trending in the AM on the STT Sports Network Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Link below. Don't forget to copy and paste that and subscribe. Guys, sorry for the delay on the Eagles Commanders recap game. It just went too late into the night. There was just not enough time in the night for me to get that recap out right away for you guys on Friday morning. So here we are on Monday morning, November 18th, recapping the Eagles' big 26-18 victory over the Washington Commanders on Thursday Night Football, giving themselves a big 1.5 game cushion over the Commanders for first place in the NFC East. And man, it's a little weird doing the recap like 4 days later, 3 days later, because I've had a little time to let the emotion, the hype of the big game from Thursday night to settle down. And I can look at it a little bit more objectively. And the more and more I look at the Eagles' victory over the Commanders, even objectively or not, the more and more excited I get about this Philadelphia Eagles football team and their prospects going forward this year. Prospects of how they rank hierarchy-wise in the NFC, in the NFL as a whole. So how did they win? They won 26-18, obviously, by this point, you know that. And, on Thursday morning show last week, when I said keys to victory, I said the two big keys to beating the Washington Commanders were, one, win the time of possession, and two, run the football. Well, they won that time of possession 33-27 against the Commanders. That was obviously a big battle. And how did they win the time of possession? Well, they did exactly what I said. They ran the football 40 times to 28 passes. Saquon Barkley, another huge game, 25 carries, 146 yards, including the big 39-yard touchdown. He had 2 touchdown runs total. Jalen Hurts had another 10 carries for 39 yards and a rushing touchdown. So, again, they let's not throw shade. Kenny Gainwell had 4 carries for 43 yards. He had a couple big runs early in that game on key drives. They did what they had to do. Again, they kept the ball out of Jaden Daniels and the potent offense's hands, and they ran the football to do that. And they controlled the clock, and they did that. That was the key to the game, and they did it. And, some people may throw shade that Jalen Hurts went 18-28, only 221 yards, didn't do anything fancy or exotic or put up big flashy stats. But again, as we've talked about a lot over the last couple of weeks, when did we get away from the simple fact that winning is everything? Winning is the main thing. Winning is the only thing. And the identity of this football team is running the football and playing hard-nosed defense. I know Washington put up 18 points, but they scored a touchdown to Zach Ertz very late in the fourth quarter. That touchdown catch came very late. They had an onside kick it. They didn't get it, obviously. It was really a 2-touchdown victory from this Philadelphia Eagles team that got them this victory because they took care of their identity, which is, honestly, at this point, their identity isn't just running the football. It's smash-mouth, hard-nosed defense. And this Eagles defense, for the first time, shut down a potent offense in a while. This wasn't the Giants. This wasn't, a banged-up, Cowboys team. This wasn't the Jaguars, who on Sunday got smoked by Detroit. Wouldn't be shocked by the time we record the next episode on Tuesday that Doug Peterson ain't even the coach yet. Like, we did not beat up on a bad team. We shut down the prohibitive favorite for offensive rookie of the year in Jaden Daniels, held him to under 200 yards passing, held him to under 20 yards rushing, held the entire Washington team to under 100 yards rushing, held Terry McLaurin, one of the best wide receivers in football, to one single catch. Outside of the 8 catches to Austin Eckler for almost 90 yards, we shut this entire Washington offense down. And that is the identity of this team. Saquon Barkley running the football and our defense. Jalen Hurts doing just enough to keep us in these games, another turnover-free game, not making the mistakes, making the big plays when necessary. So anybody that wants to throw shade at Jalen Hurts just has to realize what the identity of this team is first. And then that's where that's why it's okay. If Jalen Hurts needs to throw the ball, he can. He's got the confidence to do it. He's got A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. These guys, A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert each had 5 catches. They didn't have big flashy numbers. Devontae Smith had 4. They didn't need to put up flashy numbers because you had an effective running game going. So that's all that mattered. Defensively speaking, yes, obviously the defense is pretty lights out. It's becoming not just a top 10 defense, but a top 5, top 3 defense in football. Zach Bond, again, another super effective game, 15 tackles on the day, another one for a tackle for a loss, pass defendant, flying all over the field, doing exactly what he needs to do. Obviously, also, Kobe Dean had another big game, Reed Blankenship. Jalen Carter, 7 tackles on the game. It's not flashy, right? Jalen Carter played 100% of the snaps on defense for this team. 100%. Let me say again. Jalen Carter played 100% of the snaps on defense. That's something that cornerbacks, safeties, maybe some linebackers do. Defensive tackles that are over 300 pounds don't play 100% of the snaps anymore in the NFL. And he did that. And he did it effectively. He did it well. He was making plays early in the game and late in the game. It might have been Jalen Carter's best game of the year this year. Also having one of his best games, if not best game of the year, Jordan Davis. His snap count went up a little bit still, less than you'd like to see. He's not going to jump off the stat sheets or anything like that with 3 tackles. That's not going to be it. But Jordan Davis played and got pushed for the first time in weeks. It was great to see. Bryce Huff got on the field, made a play. Nolan Smith with another sack. Nolan Smith is definitely coming into his own right now with the Philadelphia Eagles this year. And I just want to make sure we give credit to Nolan Smith for how well he's played. The defensive end edge rush position was something that we thought was a weakness on this team. Josh Sweat, Nolan Smith, etc., have been having a great effect on defense over the last 3, 5, 6 weeks during the 6-game winning streak for the most part, honestly. So the identity of this team is the defense. And then it's complemented with when was the last time in Philadelphia Eagles that we could talk about the offense complements the defense? This might be some of the best defensive play I've seen. I'm a 43-year-old man. This is the best defense I've seen in a long, long time, confidence-wise. That I don't care which offense we go up against coming up in the next couple of weeks, the Rams, the Ravens, the Steelers. I'm confident that this team, that the defense can shut them all down. Literally all of them down. I can't wait at this point. I know this is getting massively ahead of myself. I'm waiting for the Lions in the playoffs to see what this defense is really all about. And that's what it's all about, is the hierarchy of the NFL. Where are we? And obviously the Lions still have the best record in the NFC, dominate Jacksonville this past weekend. But it's Eagles, it's Detroit, and that is it for command of the NFC at this point. So, guys, we got a busy week ahead of us talking the Eagles as we get set to continue this. We're going out west to face the Rams this week. Where will we be? How are we going to do it? We seem to come out of the game unscathed, no injuries. Nick Sirianni, the confidence is growing. Vic Fangio, the confidence is growing. Jalen Hurts, the confidence is growing. It's an elite, scary team right now that we have here in Philadelphia, guys. So, again, this is the Eagles Checkdown, recapping the Eagles' 26-18 victory over Washington. Make sure you guys are following along right here on the Eagles Pinpole Podcast Network. I'm Phil Stiefel. Down below, you can copy and paste. It's the Trending in the AM. It's my morning show on YouTube. Copy and paste that. Hit subscribe on the STT Sports Network. We're going to go much more detailed into this. I didn't even mention Quinion Mitchell. We're going to talk a lot about Quinion Mitchell this week and how he is in lockdown mode. Well, I know people are calling it Guantanamo Bay. I'm calling it lockdown. The Quinion Penitentiary, and he's putting you all in solitary lockdown. And how great he is. We haven't gotten into, we didn't even get into that today. But guys, the fastest under 10-minute Eagles podcast there is right here. The Eagles Checkdown, the Eagles Pinball Podcast Network. I'll see you guys on Trend in the AM, and hopefully you guys will be listening tomorrow when we continue this great conversation about the Eagles. But as always, guys, it's very simple. It's go Birds, and it's bubbles up to you.